The wind is so bad that there's no way I could talk into the phone and you guys hear me. So I got in my truck. I got the big dog out, the 300 Win Mag, and it's loaded up with 66 grains of H4831 SSC. Last time, the temperature was about 40, maybe a little bit less. Today, I'm in full sun, the wind. The average of all shots last time, which was 5, was 2809. The extreme spread was 12, and the standard deviation was 4. Let's see if that holds true today with the sun beating down, the wind, and it's significantly hotter. Yeah. So that was 2807. I just didn't have my phone connected. So, and that's right where it needs to be. All right, phone's connected now. Go. Those 3 shots there were just under 3/4 minute, 0.72, according to Ballistic X. They were right on target, and so we're going to continue. So according to Shrelock Pro, for 300, I should have to come up 0.6 MRADs. For 400, I would have to come up 1.4 MRADs. For 500, I would have to come up 2.3 MRADs. For 600, I would have to come up 3.2 MRADs. For 700 yards, we're looking at 4.3 up. For 800 yards, 5.4 up. For 900 yards, 6.7. And for 1,000, 8.2. I have put in all of the data from shooting this ammo that I've created. So the data is 200 yards 0, 190 grain Sierra Match Kings. The average feet per second at 40 degrees is 2809. The ballistic coefficient at G7 is 0.290. We're going to see exactly how this Shrelock Pro matches up to what I actually have to do. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm also going to shoot through the chronograph each time, which is going to give us a better idea of what our ammunition is doing. Right now, with those 3 shots, we're right within the feet per second that I determined at an earlier date. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to get the dope on each one of these ranges, and then we'll talk about it. All right, first up is 300 yards. According to Shrelock Pro, I got to come up 0.6. So the top of a right-on scope is in 0.1 increments for MRAD, and the inside reticle, each tick mark is 0.2 MRADs. Okay, here we go. The wind is moving from my rear to front, so I'm not going to calculate for wind or anything like that. Hit! 2,812. Oh, that was a miss.
2,802.
Yeah, there it is.
2,819.
Okay. There's a, I think there's a 4-inch gong down there. I'm gonna try to shoot it. Smacked it.
2,800.
hopefully you can hear me. I don't know, but we're at 400 yards, and I just had to come up to 1.4 MRADs from 0.
2,834.
Well, I hit it. I just don't know where. What I can tell, it's right above the black dot that I was aiming at. I'm gonna try it again. Yep, just above the black dot.
112.
About 0.2 higher than I was aiming, so I'm putting down 0.2. And that should actually be my dope. Yep. Dope.
2,820.
So 1.2 is my dope at 400 yards. So 0.2 less than Sherlock Pro had told me prior. The barrel's a little hot. I'm gonna let it cool, and and adjust some stuff with the chronograph. All right, guys, back in my truck. I've got my dope for obviously 0, 200. I got my dope for 300, which 0.6 actually works. 1.2 for 400, and I'm going to go to 500. But before I do, I'm going to kind of give you a rundown of the velocity here. So, average of 14 shots today is 28.18. Extreme spread of 42, and a standard deviation of 10. That seems to be pretty good. I had shot more than what's on camera because there's a target behind the 400-yard target, and it looks like it's 400 yards, but it's actually 500 yards. So make sure you're shooting at the right range. So I was missing, and I thought maybe there might be something wrong or whatever. You know what was wrong? Me. I was wrong. So, but it seems to be pretty good. 42 feet per second extreme spread, and then standard deviation of 10, and that's after shooting one, and then another, and then another, and then another. No rest, just kind of figuring out what's going on. So I like this powder. 4831. Also, I'm not going to connect my phone to the chronograph from here on. I need my phone to put it on the spot and scope so that I can, if I miss a target, I want to be able to record the trace and record the shot so that I can go back and see what I'm doing. I don't have a spotter with me, so I have to use my phone as the spotter. But at the end of this video, I'm going to go through how many shots I took, which are going to be 50 shots. I have 50 rounds, so to be at least 50 or less. And then I'm going to calculate the average of everything and then let you guys know. I'm at 2.1 MRADs from 0. Let's see what happens. Well, that worked. So that was 2802. I'm gonna go for the smaller target. So I think I need to come down at least one more. Yeah, that was a miss. Vector. Sherlock is telling us 3.2 from 0. For 400 and for 500, it had been a couple, like 0.2 or 0.3 lower. So I'm going to go to 2.8 for this one. And we'll send it. And I hit it at the left edge of the target, so I need to go a little bit further. Elevation was excellent. I'm gonna hold 0.4 rad to the right. And there it is. So far, so good. I'm having a great time. If you guys want to learn how to get your dope and shoot out to 600 yards, you should schedule my Crack Shot 1.0. This is just an initial dope gathering. So dope is data on previous engagement. There's other names for it too, but basically it's when you engage a target and you know that data to be true for that target at that distance in that environment, then that's dope. For example, the best example that I could give for dope or data on previous engagement is when you zero. When you zero at 100 yards, you know that zero to be true. At that elevation, in that environment, with that round, whether it be, 190 grains or 150 grains or 140 grains or whatever, you know that to be true. That is dope. So basically, when you're gathering dope, you're gathering different distances, a zero for different distances, if that makes sense. So for example, at 200 yards, I'm zeroed. Well, now that I know 0.6 up from my 200 yard zero is a 300 yard zero. And then from there, I think it's 1.4 is 400 yard zero. And 2.1 is my 500 yard zero, and etc. Right? So that is dope. And it takes time. Right now I'm just relaxing, eating some lunch, and I'm gonna get back at it. So I've got dope out to 600 yards now. So now I need to do 7, 8, 9, and 1,000. Here we go. Okay, 700 yards. I'm at 4 from a zero, 4 MRADs from zero. Tree Lock Pro said I think 4.4, something of that nature. But I'm going to go with 4, and the chronograph is on. Let's get started. In the spot and scope video, the target I'm going for is the middle target. The wind is kind of boiling right now. I think I'm just going to hold center and see what happens from there. Okay, that was definitely high. I'm gonna hold right edge. Okay, I can't tell whether it was just beside it or high. I'm right in the ballpark. Let's try it again. Still missing the target. Came down 2. The other one's moving left to right. Okay. That looks like it was in line. It's just I didn't hold for the wind enough. I'm gonna hold. .8 mils left. Basically 1 whole mil left. Well, I didn't hit the right one. That is not the one I'm going for. Okay, obviously, 3.6 is my dope for 700. I just have to figure out this wind. So that's wild. I'll shoot a couple more at 7 before I go to 8. All right, let's look at this wind real quick. Yeah, that wind is really messing it up. It looks like it's boiling to me. I think there's some flags. Let me look at the flags. Yeah, at 1,000, it's kind of going directly at the target. So let's try to hold center. Nope, it still hit just to the right of it. See what this wind is doing. Maybe a hold left edge. Ooh, can't tell. All right, it's time to review the footage to see what's going on there. I decided I'm going to miss on purpose to see where it's actually hitting, because it looks like I'm right in the ballpark, but I'm either hitting above it to the left or right. I'm gonna hit miss on purpose underneath it. So I'm gonna go down 0.4. I'm gonna miss it underneath so I can see what's going on. Okay. Okay, so I came down 4 from 3.8, and I missed just underneath the target. Now I'm at 3.6, and we'll see what happens. All right, there it is. 3.5 for 700 yards. Normally I would do a confirmation shot or two, but I only have 15, 16, I got 17 rounds left, and I want to get all the way to 1,000. So I have the 800, 900, and 1,000 to go. Hopefully these will go quite well, and then I can go back to 700 to confirm. So that's 3.5 for 700. Sherlock Pro is telling me 5.4 for 800. I'm gonna go with 4.8 and start from there. All right, here we go. Fucking smacked it. Okay. All right, so that's 4.8. I'm gonna go on to 900 now. Okay, I'm gonna go with 6 up and then go for 900. Okay, it looks like it was above. I'll come down 0.5. Give it a shot again. Now this is a stationary target, it's not gonna move. So we may have to review footage. Oh, that's interesting. This is gonna be difficult. This is gonna be difficult. You know, I'm gonna aim center. I was holding right, but I think the wind's a little funky down there. Let's see what happens when I hold center. Time to review footage. Okay, so I had to go down range to see if I hit that target, that 900-yard target, and I didn't. So I think I hit which is strange. I think I hit .8 MRADs low, and which brings us back above 6. So I'm going to come up and we're going to fire. So right now I'm at 6.2. And we're going to see what happens. I just can't tell. I just can't tell. So what we're going to do is I'm going to skip 900. And I'm going to go over to 1,000. This is where the 900-yard target is. It's hard to tell if you're hitting left, right, up, or down as a single shooter with no spotter. So I'm going to go to 1,000. Okay, 8.2. I'm going to come up to, let's see, that's 6, 7. I'm going to go 7.5 for now. Okay, so I was way off to the right, which is probably the wind. As we'll go 0.8. Oof. It come down a couple clicks. Hit. All right. 1,000 yards. Looks like it's 7.3. Now I'm going to go and confirm 700. Confirmed. So, let me go through these shots here. The high velocity of 50 shots was 28.44. The low velocity was 27.72. The average was 28.06, which it's pretty much right on. 28.07 was, or was it 28.08? Anyway, 28.06 was about the average from last time. Extreme spread was 72, so that's not pretty good at all. Yeah, that's not good at all. But this is after 50 shots and heating up. Standard deviation was 15. So after 50 shots, I think that's pretty good. So 50 shots produced an extreme spread of 72 and a standard deviation of 15. I was able to get dope out to 700 yards. I confirmed 700. I confirmed, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I could not confirm 8. I couldn't get 9 at all. And I did hit one time at 1,000, but again, that was unconfirmed. So the next step is to load another batch of 50. Come out here with a spotter so that the spotter can actually give me corrections. And then we can go from there. Yeah, so I hope you guys like this series. I'm going to continue it until I know the dope on that firearm very well. And then I may have to restart because, you never know what happens with materials, supply. 4831 SC or SSC is pretty popular. The bullets I'm using, Ceramax Kings, are pretty popular. And anyway, so we'll see. You guys keep watching if you want to see more.